There's something that you need to actually get in order, but you may be creating the facade that everything is already okay or everything is already in order, everything is in tip top shape, when really it's your emotions that are attached to why you need to create that facade instead of actually becoming the thing that you are facading, that you are in a delusion or illusion about. This is really the time where you take full responsibility for why you are where you are and how you're going to get to where it is that you're going, Aquarius. Where you may be empowered, where someone may require that you step up in some way, or your unique circumstances force you to step up, and you can't wear like the mask anymore, or you can't pretend that everything's okay anymore, or that you are where it is that you want to be. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Violetta Alexis, and I've been a tarot reader for 5 years. And if you're not new here, welcome back. Let's see your reading. Overall energy, Three of Swords reversed. Well, I mean, this is really going to depend, Aquarius. So I just realized that this mic was super far away. Love that. All right, there we go. So the Three of Swords reversed, this can represent a few things. I mean, it can represent that you actually are overcoming something, or it can represent the fact that you're really not. So obviously you would know better than I would. Let's see what the rest of the cards say. Your challenge, Eight of Swords reversed. So, you might have been stuck in a situation for a while. There can be some indecisiveness that you have, but the only person that's going to get you out of that rut is essentially you. The recent past, which can essentially be now, is the Temperance reversed. A little off your rocker, a little off balance. There can be something that you're consuming too much of. There can be this energy of you overdoing it, or just once again feeling like not at peace with your life or a certain aspect of your life. The near future is the Ace of Cups reversed. I'd be careful around draining yourself with something. It's almost like bleeding yourself dry is what I'm getting from that. And then for what's going on in your head, Knight of Swords reversed. Whew, damn, Aquarius, what's going on here? I mean, I know it's not easy with Pluto and in your sign. I know that's difficult, but I mean, damn, this is all reversals here. So you can be a little triggered. You can feel like you have a lot of mental energy and you don't really necessarily know where to put it. There can be a lot on your mind. Mercury going into Scorpio, that's when our mind can basically go through hell and back. You know what I mean? Really thinking deeply about things and things that trigger us. It's like Scorpio is not an easy sign, right? So that can be kind of what that is. Nine of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so this is your subconscious. This is about feeling not good enough. And I mean, this is Venus in Virgo. We have had Venus in Virgo going on for a while now. She made a conjunction to the South Node. That felt like crap, For most of you, it felt like crap, most likely. Venus is in her fall. She doesn't like being in Virgo, And not that there's anything wrong with Venus in Virgo. It's just she'd rather be somewhere like Taurus or Libra, right? And so for a lot of you, there can be this subconscious fear that you're not enough, or you're not doing enough, or that you must prove something to other people in order to be accepted, instead of just accepting that sometimes your presence alone is enough. Now, I'm not talking about if you go to work and you just sit there and you're like, my presence is enough. No, that's obviously not what I'm talking about. But understanding that you are a whole, complete person, and you don't need to try too hard or to overgive in order to prove something to other people. Your advice, the Emperor. Especially if you're like an Aquarius rising, Mars transiting your 10th house, this is about really making a change in a public way. Who are you? Where have you let your power fall to the wayside? Are you, could you do more, and not like more in where you need to prove yourself, but do you need to detach your emotions from a situation so you can get your shit done, essentially, right? Like the Emperor, he's not going to let this bug him. He's not going to let this deter him from doing what it is that he needs to do. And I think that you guys are on the precipice of a leveling up. Whether you're a man or a woman, it doesn't matter. The Emperor is going to get stuff done. He or she is the head of the household. There's other people that he or she, the Emperor, is responsible for. And so this may be asking you to step into your own power. How are you going to do that? Only you are going to know. Someone or something external from you is the Lover's reverse. Can be a little bit of a disconnect that you're having with someone, or you could feel like maybe there's not a mental connection that you're having with someone. Someone can be like blaming you for something with that Lover's reversed as well. For your hopes, fears, wishes, 8 of Wands. Some of you want to travel. Maybe you want to travel with a partner. Maybe you want to travel by yourself. Maybe you want to do some writing. It seems like you want to kind of go full speed ahead, which I'm not surprised there. Then we have the 7 of Cups for the outcome. So this can be where you are essentially spoiled for choice. Spoiled for choice in regards to love, spoiled for choice in regards to career opportunities, whatever it may be. So let's go ahead and start clarifying now. Tell me about that Three of Swords reversed for my Aquarians. Tell me about that Three of Swords reversed for my Aquarians. We have the Hierophant here. Okay, so this to me is fabulous. I mean, some of you maybe are working with a mentor or somebody who's helping you rebuild your emotional foundation. It seems like there's some kind of overcoming, maybe for some of you around religious trauma, but you seem to be very grounded and rooted in regards to who you are. For some of you, there can also be healing in a relationship, a committed relationship, something of that nature. But all in all, it's just a very grounded, mature, stable energy that you're in. But you've definitely overcome some hurdles. I mean, yeah, see, Hermit reversed. The Hermit in the upright is like dark night of the soul. And I think that you guys have really been through the ringer in regards to who you are, what you believe in, like what makes you fundamentally you. And sometimes we have to get our ass kicked in order to figure out what that looks like. Sometimes we have to get our heart broke to figure out who we are in love and what we're willing to accept from others as well. And sometimes that only happens after an ego death, or after we, like I said, after we get our ass kicked in some way. So now you're embodying this more self-assured energy when it comes to your values, what you believe in, and who you are. And not just who you are in relationships, although that's part of it, who you are as a whole person. So now let's go ahead and see that challenge with that Eight of Swords reversed. Tell me about that challenge with that Eight of Swords reversed. The Ace of Wands reversed. I wouldn't like wait around to get stuff done. Like if you're thinking about going and working out, if you're thinking about starting a new routine, if you have a project that you're wanting to work on, if you're needing to switch jobs, like don't sit around and do this analysis paralysis thing. Easier said than done, right? Don't wait on others for permission. There's something that you're needing to do. There's some kind of inspiration that you're needing to create for yourself, or you're needing to find so you can get the move on something. What is this about, please? Tell me what this is. All right, well, that card wanted to come out, so I'm going to do it. The Death card and the Judgment. Wow. That's all that. That's that Scorpio stellium that we have. And I say stellium because we have Lilith in Scorpio as well. So we got Lilith, Mars, Mercury. And then, at the end of this month, we're going to have the Sun going into Scorpio. So that's a lot of ego deaths. That's a lot of transformative energy. That's a lot of secrets coming out, things being exposed, vulnerabilities, manipulations, sometimes really good sex. Mars and Scorpio is really great for that. But I feel like when it comes to you, what do you want to change? What do you want to change? And is there a way that you may be blaming others for the changes that you don't see, right? And we can do that. We can be like, oh God, I've just had such a really hard life when it comes to relationships. Okay, great. That might be true, but now what can you do about it? What did you do before? Let's say it is relationships, okay? What did you do before that got you in the position you were in, right? Or maybe it's in regards to your physical health, okay? How did you get here? If you feel like your body's suffering, if you feel like you're not at the weight that you want to be at, or you don't look or feel the way that you want to, in what ways have you cut yourself off at the knees? And in what ways have you blamed others for those issues? Okay, so the Judgment is about taking full accountability with the Death card about the changes that we need to make in order to get our asses in gear, essentially. Okay. So let's look at the past energy. So because this is past energy and we're doing predictions for mid-October, this is likely what's going on right now. So let's see that Temperance reversed. It can be a little bit of what happened in September as well. The Ace of Cups, okay. I wonder for some of you if there's been like a big focus on love recently. The Nine of Cups. Whoa. But why is the Temperance reversed? The Five of Pentacles. You have some kind of fear of loss or abandonment. So what you may be doing is you may be overcompensating in some way to ensure that you don't miss out or lose something or someone. So what do I mean by that? Let's be really cliche and act like we're talking about relationships, okay? Let's say that you were broken up with okay, great. And you know, somebody really hurt you. Okay, somebody really hurt you and made you feel like you didn't have any value, etc., etc. Okay, and so now the next person comes along and you don't want to feel like that again. So what you do is you overgive, or you try to overdo it. You try to over impress because of that fear. And for some time, it may get you what you want. Okay, it may get you what you want. But after some time goes on, you may find that too much of a good thing is not always a good thing, because you're operating from a place of lack, okay? If I decide that, you know, maybe somebody doesn't like me for my body, you know, somebody doesn't like my body, somebody doesn't like my weight, and then I go into the gym, that's good. We can use that for motivation, but we go into the gym and now I become so overly obsessed with this. And yes, I'm getting the body that I want, but at what cost? Do I have time for friends? Do I have time for a social life? Do I have time for my family? You know, how are you acting from a place of lack? Like, yes, you may be getting what you want, and that's great. We love that. But ask yourself, at what cost, okay? It also may be saying that you need more balance in your life in order to acquire the love that you want or that emotional fulfillment that you're looking for, okay? So let's go ahead and see the future. So this is probably like November-ish, late October, okay, November. We have the Ace of Cups reversed. Why is the Ace of Cups reversed, please? We have the Devil reversed. Okay, so that's a good sign. Can I get one more? What is this about? The Justice. It's about having balance. It's about having balance in all things. So this to me more so feels like a person, you, I would imagine, who is understanding themselves a whole lot better when it comes to balance, when it comes to equal give and take. Okay, I heard being loved for you. Interesting. Maybe you guys were loved for something else. Maybe your body, your money, something. Okay. Nonetheless, there's a big revelation and a realization that you're having when it comes to your fears, your self-sabotaging behaviors, the things that you've been attached to that either are not attached to you, there's no reciprocity there, you know, or just some kind of maybe addiction that you have as well that has been a fucking drain, you know, on your energy. And now this is the time where it's like, okay, you know, I've got to do what's right. And there may be another person involved because the Justice is Libra. So it can be about relationships or how we relate to others. But there can be this energy of how much am I willing to drain myself for another, you know, or how much am I willing to drain another person for myself? Maybe some of you are doing that, right? So it really depends on your personal and unique circumstance. But that's kind of what I got from that. So the good thing is that because there's an awareness of whatever this drain is and how it's happening, that means that you can finally take accountability and make the change, right? Because that's what we were talking about. You're needing to take accountability for the change that you want to see in your life and for these endings that you keep delaying. Because there's something that has to change, something that has to end, that you keep, it feels like you keep projecting it onto others or blaming others. And I'm not saying that other people are not at fault, but when you start to walk into this Emperor energy, when you start to take full responsibility for you and how your life is playing out, that is literally the most empowering thing. Because when you allow somebody else to change your circumstances, when you allow somebody else to tempt you, when you allow somebody else to make you feel some kind of way, when you allow somebody else to bring you down or whatever it is, or oh well, Martha had cookies today and that's why I cheated on my diet. You didn't have to eat the cookies. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I feel like that's what's going on here. So let's see that Knight of Swords reversed. This is for your mind. What's going on in the headspace? Tell me about that Knight of Swords reversed. Please. Why is that reversed? The Emperor reversed. Oh boy. Can I get one more? What is this about? What is this about? The Moon. You don't know what's real. There's something that you seem to be very confused about in mid-October, and it can be about you and your own sense of masculinity. Now, if we all are made up of masculine and feminine energies, but like if you're a man, okay, specifically, I'm talking to the men. If you're a man, it seems like there's a lot of mental frustration that's being put towards feeling emasculated or, again, not taking responsibility. There's something here about not taking responsibility in a way that you need to. And that's what's driving you crazy. Like, and the best way I can explain this, when we're procrastinating, for instance, right? When we procrastinate, it's because we're anxious about something. And then we think that procrastinating is going to make us feel better, but it actually makes us feel more anxious, right? And so I feel like there's something that you're doing where you have a lot of mental energy towards not wanting to do something, not taking responsibility, not taking your power back in a situation, not allowing yourself to be empowered. And I feel like it's because you're allowing your emotions to get in the way of something. Okay? Even if you're a woman, this could be the case. If you're a woman and you feel like that Emperor reversed is not you, then you may have somebody who's driving you fucking crazy. Like, I'm just going to be honest. This could be somebody who is either abusive, has been abusive. Maybe they're in your life still. Maybe they're not. If they are, you need to get them out. The Emperor reversed can also be an irresponsible masculine figure in your life. Somebody who's not stepping it up. And this may make you feel some kind of way. This may put you in some kind of emotional turmoil because what you want is you want somebody to step it up. And so you may project these hopes onto this person when they've never showed you anything different. Okay? So it depends on who you are or what resonates with you. So we have the Nine of Pentacles reversed. This is in your subconscious, okay? This is what, I feel like this is what's sabotaging you. Tell me more about that Nine of Pentacles reversed. Why is that there? And why is it in reverse? Why is it in reverse? The Nine of Pentacles reversed again. Oh my God. I'm like, damn, man. You really feel like you are not worth it, or you are not worthy, and remember, this is subconscious. It's not necessarily something that you're conscious of. And it's almost as if you're trying to portray, or you feel like you need to portray this sense of stability, this sense of independence, this sense of I got it all figured out, when you actually don't feel that way. And the thing is that, like, as I'm doing this, right, Venus is in Virgo right now. Okay, so Venus being in Virgo is sometimes afraid to ask other people for help because she feels, or he feels, like she needs to do it all on her own, you know? And like you can't do that because there's some kind of draining energy that's happening here. And it's also about, like, the Nine of Pentacles reverse is somebody who is trying to act like they're richer than they are, or like they're willing, okay, I got everybody's drinks tonight, because they're trying to portray this sense of independence, when really they go home at night and they're like, oh, I wish I wouldn't have done that. It causes more anxiety. What's the guidance with this? Because I saw this, I wish I would have shown it before I shuffled. I saw the Seven of Swords reversed and the Knight of Swords reversed, which we saw in your mind. So the Seven of Swords reversed at the bottom of the deck is like, there's a guilt around that. There's a guilt around being something that you're not, or feeling like you have to be someone that you're not. Like, it's okay to just be where you're at right now and, like, be cool with that, and be like, okay, now what can I do to enhance my circumstances? How can I take my power back? How can I take responsibility for my own changes? What's the guidance for this? The Seven of Cups. This is not about illusions. We see the Seven of Cups for the result here. So this is not about wearing rose-colored glasses. I mean, hello, like Neptune's going back into Pisces. I think it's this month. Neptune goes back into Pisces. Hello, Seven of Cups. Even though it's Venus and Scorpio, the Seven of Cups, it always makes me think of like Neptune or Neptunian things, because it can be an illusion. It can be a confusion, but it feels more like an illusion, because it's like you feel like you need to show up a certain way instead of owning who you are in this moment and being like, okay, and like, how can I do better? How can I take responsibility for the changes that I need to make? Because if we're busy portraying this, like, oh, I look like this to everybody, and I did it, and we're busy portraying that, we are living in this illusionary state where we're not actually living in reality. So because we're not living in reality, we're not taking accountability for where we are right now. If we're not taking accountability for where we are right now, then we can't really make any changes, because we're deciding to wear rose-colored glasses about the situation. So let's go ahead and take a look at this Emperor for your full-on advice. Tell me about that Emperor. Why is the Emperor the advice? Why is the Emperor the advice? The Six of Wands reverse. This is not about, like, this is going to sound shitty, okay? But I feel like the Nine of Pentacles reverse likes to show up because somebody feels like they need validation for something, okay? The best way I can explain this as to why this is here. So, like, let's say that we have a plan to do something, okay? We have a plan. We want to do something. And let's say that we want to write a book, okay? And we tell somebody else, and we're like, hey, oh my God, I have this really good idea for this book. I'm so excited. And then in that moment, you get this dose of validation, right? And it feels really good. You told somebody about the book idea. You're really excited. You're talking about the book idea. And then you don't realize it in the moment, but your brain gets this dose of validation as if you actually did something. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, don't go looking for validations for this potential idea that you haven't actually done. Or this is like, no, just put your emotions to the side. You don't need somebody to pat you on the back right now and give you a gold star. Like, people are going to really do that. It's really true when you actually go and do it. When you remove the illusion from the equation, stop talking about what it is that you want to do and just do it. So I don't really feel like we need to explain more than that. Something external from you that can be affecting you. We have the Lovers reversed. Tell me about why that's there, please. Why is the Lovers reversed here for Aquarius? The Seven of Pentacles wanted to show up. Tell me, give me one more on that Lovers reversed. Why is that Lovers reversed there? The Sun reversed. But why is the Lovers reversed? The Ace of Pentacles. What's the guidance for that? The King of Wands reversed. Okay. So, like, if you're a man, for instance, there may be somebody, like, you may be getting in your ego or have some pride around somebody else. Once again, there's something about you projecting something onto another person, blaming another person for something that's not happening, you know, giving your power away in that way. When I feel like what you need to do is you need to show up and lead in the direction that you want. Because there's someone that you may be very invested in, okay? But you can be kind of putting the ball in their court when I feel like you are needing to court or you are needing to show up in this very masculine way. Okay, if you're a man. If you're a woman and you're dealing with a man, this can be about a love relationship that you may be invested in, but you can feel like they're not really showing up in the way that you want. So it's telling you, don't double down and take on this masculine role. Sorry, that looks a little blurry. Don't double down and take on this masculine role. Let this person show you what they're capable of. Let them show you a real investment. Okay? Instead of projecting some fantasy onto somebody else. Like, I want you to make sure you're seeing true, honest to God, tangible results from this connection. For others of you, this can be around financial investments. This is not financial advice. Okay, this is for entertainment purposes only. You are responsible for your own choices, your own financial decisions. Legally, I have to say that, okay? But for some of you, you can be a little indecisive in regards to where to put your money or what to do with your energy. And that, like, scary behavior, okay, that scary behavior is not going to benefit you. So you're needing to make a higher self choice. And I always say that your higher self choice is this. You think about the person that you love the most in the entire world. You got that person in your head, great. If they were approaching you with the exact same problem that you're having, what advice would you give to that person? That is your higher self decision. So think about it like that. Let's see this 8 of Wands. The 8 of Pentacles. You're going to see progress through repetition. You're going to see progress through your routines and the work that you do. I really have a feeling that if you get down to brass tacks and you really have a fundamental routine, okay, where you go to bed at a certain time, you wake up at a certain time, you're working out, you're taking care of your health, you're really mastering something in your life, that is when movement, believe it or not, right? Oh my God, like, shocker. That's when things will start moving ahead. Not before, only after. So let's go ahead and see this 7 of Cups. The Tower. Let go of the illusion, baby. It's not working for you, you know? It's just not working for you. What is the illusion about? I bet it's this 9 of Pentacles reverse, something like that. The 8 of Swords. Thinking that you're stuck when you're not. It's just a thought. The Page of Wands. You need to start. You need to, because I told you, it's like you're waiting around for something, for someone else to give you the go ahead. You're waiting for what, you know? And it's kind of like, not even kind of, it's saying regardless if you're fully confident in this, that, or the third, whatever, like you're needing to do it anyway. You're needing to go for it. And through that, you'll build courage. But whatever illusions that you have built up around why you're stuck or why you can't move forward is totally in your head. All right. Jesus Christ. Advice for Aquarius. Taurus. Okay. One more. What do you need to release? Illusions. Okay. Now for some of you, if you're in Aquarius rising, okay, you have Taurus in your 4th house. Maybe there's something in regards to your childhood. Maybe you're needing to forgive a parent, you know. Maybe it's something emotional that you're needing to deal with. For others of you, it can be around self-esteem, you know, where you're kind of faking the funk a little bit. Like you feel so great about yourself and this, that, and the third. But again, you're actually hindering yourself by, you know, having that illusion. Like the best way I can explain this is, now this is really superficial, okay? So like, and we've all fucking edited our pictures, right? Like literally we've all done it. I have certainly over edited my pictures and it was like just terrible. Anyway, so to be honest, so like, let's say that you really want your dream body. Okay. Let's say that's what it is. Okay, great. Love that for you. Right. But let's say that instead of actually going and working for your dream body, instead of going to the gym and eating right and getting a good amount of sleep, right? Instead, you're like taking pictures and you're editing your body and then you're posting online. You're like, yeah, see guys, like, you know what I'm saying? And we've all like, well, I don't want to say we've all, but we've all done that to some degree under a different umbrella, right? And so it's like, no, go do the work and actually get what it is that you want. Okay. So Aquarius, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here. Please, if you don't mind, I would appreciate it if you would like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you would like to book a personal reading with yours truly, you can visit my website at www.violettaalexis.com. If you would like a one-on-one session with me, whether text or call, you can visit the website hipsy.com/ViolettaAlexis. All of that information is in the description box below. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.